Hi, this is Preetha and welcome to Dakshin Curry. Today I am in the mood to make a gravy which is just out of the restaurants. Down in Karnataka, it's common to make a recipe called as mixed veg sagu, which is served along with said dosas or khali dosas, puris and chapatis. So today we'll be trying to make that recipe, and to know more about the recipe you have to stay tuned. Sagu is something similar to a korma. Now when we say korma, obviously it's going to be like a gravy, and that means that there's going to be a paste involved. Let's have a look at the ingredients and we'll start with the paste. Here I have this paste here which is made using poppy seeds and darya dal. So I'll be using a tablespoon each of poppy seeds and darya dal. The other ingredients are half a teaspoon of jeera, around 1/4 cup of coconut, around 3 really hot green chillies, 1 small stick of ginger. I am going to be using 1 stick of cinnamon here, around 3 cloves and 1 cardamom. So these are the elements which are going to be required to make the paste, and I'll tell you more about the paste later. Let's have a look at the vegetables which are going to go into this gravy. I'll be using 2 medium-sized potatoes which I have roughly diced, around 12 to 15 spinach leaves which are roughly shredded, 1 medium-sized capsicum which I have roughly chopped, 1 baby carrot which is roughly diced. And here I have some tamarind, a gooseberry sized tamarind which is dissolved in water, some curry leaves, salt to taste, some coriander leaves, 1 teaspoon of mustard and a pinch of turmeric. So let's start with the recipe. I have a kadhai here and I am going to switch this on, put it on saute mode. And what do we need to do? We need to start with the oil. Now once the oil is hot, we'll be starting with the mustard seeds. So let's get this nice and hot, and we'll allow this to crackle. Now so you can see it's starting to crackle, and when this happens we'll add the curry leaves. I'll also be adding the rest of the vegetables at this stage. So let's start the capsicum. Now here again you can use vegetables of your choice. There is no compulsion that you have to use only these. You can use French beans, you can use cauliflower, you can use snow peas, green peas. This is endless. Some people like to add capsicum in the end so that it stays nice and crisp, but now it's going to be cooking in the gravy, so it really doesn't matter if you're going to add it towards the end or start. Add the carrot now. This gives a little bit of color. Now we'll add the potatoes. And let's add the turmeric. You can also add hing if you want to, but I am just avoiding it. Now once this sautés, we'll add the spinach. Now we are not looking at cooking this vegetable at this stage. Just kind of mixing it up with the oil. Now we'll add the spinach. Now this is going to shrivel up, so the quantity is going to go down. So usually when you go to restaurants there, what they do is they have a combination of a green leafy vegetable. Now we'll mix this well, and we'll just allow this to cook for a couple of minutes. Just reduce the flame. Just allow this to like kind of come together. So like I was talking to you about the paste. Now as you know, khaskhas, if you're just going to add it in the jar and just grind it up, the specks are still going to show. So it's always advisable to soak it in a little bit of water. What I do is I just have some warm water and I add the khaskhas into that. I soak it up nicely for half an hour. And what I did for this recipe is I added the darya dal also. So I allowed both of them to soak together really well. So what happened is when the paste was ground, it blended really well. It was nice and smooth, and the specks were really minimal. So remember that. This gravy is going to have a really nice aroma because of the gentle use of cinnamon and cardamom and cloves. You know, there is not much use of garam masala. As you can see, this very little. There will be a little bit of flavor of ginger, the spice of the green chilies, and obviously the nice creamy flavor of khaskhas. So it's a really complete recipe. I'm going to add tamarind water. What people usually do is they add the paste first, they simmer it nicely and then add the tamarind water and simmer. But what I would like to do is I would allow the vegetables to cook in the tamarind water. And I'm not going to add any water. I'm just going to mix this, and I'll be adding a dash of salt, which will allow the vegetables to cook a little faster. Now remember that I'm adding little salt for the vegetables. I'm going to be adding some more salt later when I'm going to be adding the paste. And also remember, you have added spinach, and a good quantity of spinach, and spinach is natural in salts. So don't go high with the salt, be a little low on salt, because the spinach is also going to give that salty flavor. So mix this up nicely once and just add a little bit of water. Now I'm going to cover and cook this. Allow this to come to a nice boil. So now vegetables have been boiling away. Let's have a look. I can get the aroma, strong aroma of tamarind. Quite a powerful aroma. And you must wonder that why did I cover and cook? I usually allow the raw smell of tamarind to go, but don't worry. There's still time for it to simmer. Now as you can see, the potatoes are like almost cooked, but they're still holding shape. And when that happens, we'll add the paste. So first thing is to lower the flame. And give this a mix. Now this is going to thicken, obviously, because of the khaskhas and the dariya dal that we have added. And the minute you add this paste, the first smell that you're going to get is of cinnamon. Even though you add like a really small piece of cinnamon, the fragrance is like really aromatic. Add a little bit of water. Just mix this up. And the only ingredient that's now left to add is salt. Firstly, check for the salt. I know the salt required, but like I told you, it's always better to check. Very little required actually, and this is kind of spicy. I've used really hot chilies. Now if you want, what you can do is, once it simmers for a few minutes, you can add like half a teaspoon of crushed jaggery. Don't use sugar, use jaggery, and just mix it. So what we'll do is, we will just allow the vegetables to simmer in this gravy for a few minutes. This is not going to be like a really thin gravy. This is going to be vegetable which is coated in this paste. Like I told you, it's similar to korma but not exactly korma. Let's allow this to simmer for a few minutes and then it will be ready to serve. The mixed veg sagu is ready to serve. Make it with any amalgamation of vegetables as you would like to, and you know what you have to serve it with, right? Don't go for the rice. Try doing it with puri, chapati or set dosa as it is traditionally done. You have to subscribe to India Food Network and you have to write to me. Please, let's stay connected. So until next time, it's Preetha signing off. Ciao.